What's up guys, Darkdally here. Today I want to show you some great tips for building with concrete. First I want to say that if you are curious as to what mods I'm using, go ahead and look in the description of the video. There are links to every mod in my load order, in order the way that I have them in there. Some of the order is kind of shifted around. You know, when you update a mod, it puts it down at the bottom of your load order. So it gets kind of shifted, but there's all the links down there. I mentioned that because as far as concrete tips go, I'm going to be talking about these curved walls in relation to one of my mods. What else I'm going to be showing you today is how to do a ceiling in a room like this up here. And well, it looks simple. There's some problems that concrete causes when you're building, and I will show you those and explain why the ceiling is tricky. And also, I'm going to show you how to get rid of these ugly, or rather how to cover up and make them look very nicely, these ugly gaps caused by building with concrete. Okay, so let's go ahead and, well, this is pretty simple and we're already here, so let's start with this. Now when you're building with concrete, the concrete walls automatically snap to the outside of the floor tile. Now let's go ahead and let me grab a wall and show you what I'm talking about here. Oh, I was in the right place. Didn't look like it. There we go. Okay, so because they snap to the outside of the floor, it can leave this gap here. Now, as you know, concrete will snap on the inside, like so. But then that creates problems with roofing, with roofs or with ceilings, because now the inside area of the room is going to be less than that one tile ceiling panel you'd want to put in. And that is something else I'll cover. But the long and short of it is these walls are going to hang off sometimes. And you can't always squeeze one of these down under there. And if you can, it can take a lot of work trying to get a wall down there. So how do you clean that up? Well, here's a really quick tip for cleaning those up. Let's go ahead and get this wall out where we can see it, and we'll snap it to the outside like so. I'm going to go ahead and just place it. Okay, so now it's placed right there. Now I don't know the controls on PC or Xbox. I'm on PlayStation, but on PlayStation I'm going to select it, then I'm going to hold X, L1 and pull down on the left stick, and that will lower it down. And what you can do is bring it down to about right there or something like that. And then you can go ahead and snap these along the side of it. And not only does it cover up that gap, but it's going to create a nice little look. I think it's architecturally really pretty looking. I think it looks really cool. Now let's go ahead and just throw a couple of these guys here on the end. And that actually not only covers it up, it makes it look better than if the wall just went down into the ground. So that is one cool trick for that. Now let's go ahead and talk about these curved walls. Something I wanted to mention. You may notice one of the mods I'm using is Unlocked Settlement Objects. I love this mod. It is great. It has like 10 or so plugins. I'm only using one plugin. If you look at my load order, I linked in the description. I'm currently only using the base mod and the Wasteland Workshop plugin, which allows me to do these cool stone things. And that's really all I'm concerned about personally. So that's what I'm running. Now, something I actually did not notice for the longest time. There's two curved walls in here. Now, I would actually love to know why. I don't know if it's an oversight, some kind of bug or something, or if there's a purpose for it. But what I didn't notice for the longest time, and see, they're actually different. So I didn't notice. Other people may not notice either. This wall here is the one near the end of the list, and it is the correct curved wall. This wall is actually shorter. And I encountered this problem when I was building this building here. This tower, I somehow accidentally built out of the shorter curved walls and this the longer. And I stared at it for 20 minutes trying to figure out why stuff didn't line up. It made no sense until I went back and noticed. Let me demonstrate what I'm talking about. As you know, this right here goes perfectly inside of these curved walls. This little floor tile here. Like so. And this will demonstrate. Let's go ahead and just move it. When you snap it into this one, okay, so there you can see So when you try to use it, those other curved walls, they don't work right. So this is kind of a word of warning. Be careful when you're building if you use unlocked settlement objects. And if there's a reason for this that I'm, not seeing, then by all means tell me. Here you can see very plainly. I don't know what's up with that curved wall. So again, it's the first curved wall you come across. This one is smaller. And though it snaps and performs every bit like it should, it's not going to line up with anything else that's normal size. The normal size one is down here, second to last on the list. Okay, and tip number 3, working with concrete. Why is that ceiling weird and it doesn't even look weird from the inside? Let me show you exactly what I'm talking about. Let's go ahead and build a small mock-up of that room. Alright, so here we have a floor. Let's put a wall in. Now let's say we want a window. Okay, so let's go ahead and put a window in. No. Let's put it here. It's always best to snap to the outside so that you have an equal square, area for ceiling and for floor. Better to deal with the overhang out here than trying to trim ceilings inside, and that's actually kind of what we're talking about right now. So let's go ahead and put a roof on this. Let's use upper floor. Upper floor, I don't use roofs much for whatever reason. Big fan of upper floors for lots of reasons. Now, let's say I want to make this window like what I have up there, which is double layered and it has the mesh. Now, there's 2 ways to do this, actually. Let's go ahead and grab the right one. One way you can do this is concrete will snap inside itself, and I've showed this before in videos. You could take this window and actually, if you get it just right, and actually likes it better, it's harder to do this with multiple stories for some reason. You can snap it inside the other window and have a nice clean one like that, although it's going to flicker, as you can see. Sometimes you want to put the window inside of the other window, like I have up here. Let's go ahead and let me show you. And there's a reason why this is inside. Because you may be saying, well, the problem you're about to demonstrate, Darkdally, could be simply solved if the window was inside the other window. See, you can see it's placed inward. The reason it's placed inward is to try to cover up as much of that garage door as I can. I'm trying to cover up the ugly red business there. That's why it's placed inside. But that creates problems. And there may be other reasons that, you may want to do that. I'll show you what the problems are that it can cause. Where were we at? Here we are. The first problem being it simply won't go. Concrete walls will clip through floors, but they won't clip through floors and ceilings. It's not going to go here because it has to clip through a floor and a ceiling. It won't. Okay, so no problem. We'll take this ceiling out. And now, this wall, this window, will snap inside like so. Okay, now let's go ahead and just let's keep building. Let's say here, this next piece, I didn't want a window, I just want a wall here, which is the issue I'm dealing with up there. So let's get a wall here. Alright, well, let's go ahead and put a ceiling on this place. So there we go, and there we go, and here you see the problem I'm talking about. And many things can cause this when you're building with concrete, because the concrete walls have thickness. It's not just caused by doing that and not wanting to double layer this wall. I could double layer this wall and then it bump that ceiling in, but then where do you stop? Then do you double layer the entire room? And how much concrete are you wasting doing that? Anyway, if you encounter this problem, best way to fix it, and the way I fix it up there, one way to do this is simply use something different for the ceiling. Floors won't snap to the top of concrete walls. Well, upper floors will. Regular floors won't. Now that I have that up there, I can go ahead and I can grab, let's go back over to, say, let's use barn. Why not? I can grab just a regular barn floor and I can snap it because it has a floor to snap to. And what I'll do is what I did up there. Let's go ahead now. Let's remove this. Let's put another barn floor here. Of course, now we have all this ugly business to deal with, but that's really so much not a problem. Let's go back to my concrete that I was using. So we're just going to shift this over using, you know, techniques I've showed in other videos, and well, it's not exactly a trick. It's pretty simple. Oops, I shouldn't have stored that. Let's grab this one. There we go. See, we can shift it over one thickness. No, let's put it over here. So what we can do is we'll just grab this wall, put this wall here, and go ahead. And now we've shifted this over. And this is one reason I like using floors for ceilings when you're dealing with concrete, because they'll place themselves nicely over the top of the concrete. Let's go ahead and get my floor back over here. And so now we have this nice uniform roof that goes over the top, and that's one way to deal with it. Now, one thing I noticed about the roofing here, I encountered another problem. There's a lot of finagling when it comes to working with concrete. I like working with it for a lot of reasons, but its thickness makes problems. I have the ceiling lower on the outsides, and I have the wood in the center, and it looks really nice. I think it looks nice, but what that really is to cover up a problem, which I'll show you right here. Let's grab us one of these, the correct curved wall. Boy, I seriously spent forever yesterday looking at that, trying to figure out why one side of my building lined up and the other didn't. You know, it's the last thing I expected, that these walls would be different. Okay, so you know, over there I have these curved walls, you know, flanking either side of the building, and I think it's a cool look. And there's only one kind of way to cover up that curve. The only way to do it is with this little guy. Now, you put it there, oh crap, it's lower than the ceiling, and I can't drop the ceiling because the ceiling is raised up specifically to fix that offset. So what I did over there is, well, I just went with it. And this is one way to cover up, you know, design flaws. Just go with it. Say, okay, fine. Then I will flank this entire side of the wall, you know, ceiling with stone, and then this will be wood, and it looks like it's on purpose, and it looks really nice. Okay, why don't I just raise this up to the level of that floor? Well, A, because of that. Because this floor is shifted forward, so now so is that, and it doesn't line up. And B, even if it did, because concrete floors are thinner than barn and warehouse floors, you will see daylight through the crack up there. So I hope you guys got some useful info from this. I know this was a little crazy and off the wall, but there's a lot of tricks to working with concrete ceilings, and so I hope that was helpful. Maybe, actually, what I really hope is that maybe, you know, if you guys had problems with getting concrete ceilings to fix and to fit in particular rooms, that maybe that solved your problem. I really hope so. And of course, beware of the curved walls that unlock settlement objects, or simply explain to me what I'm missing, why one is different than the other. And I hope you guys like this trick. This is awesome. It not only fixes that gap, it actually makes stuff look really legit cool. Alright guys, I hope you like this. I'm making a little bit of progress here on my military style base. I'm doing a Starlight drive-in. Tell me what you think. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. It was a pleasure making this for you guys. Subscribe for more content, guys, on Darkdally. I will catch you guys next time.